Leesa. This is my partner in crime, Leesa. Today we're going to talk to you about digital soft skills for college success. So, originally we had you get your gadgets out, but Stacy just said to turn them all off.
Yeah, no, I've got mine, so I got it. We're
But that's okay. That's okay. We want to know what is your current purpose or intent for utilizing social media? Just shout out. For what?
Not using it.
You're not using it?
Social media sucks.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else who's active in social media? What do you use it for? Okay, so communicating with family and friends.
Someone over here said they use it for, what do you use social media for? Now they're quiet.
Yeah.
Information.
Okay, to get information, absolutely. Like what kind of information do you get from social media?
For homework assignments, you could utilize the internet for certain information, like if you had a science project. Utilize that for science,
Okay.
or even English.
Okay. Absolutely. How many have you seen, like Sweetwater Now, they advertise job opportunities on Sweetwater Now on Facebook.
Well,
Right.
and something that happened yesterday and that I've been getting my news on from Facebook is there's a fire in the Hoback Canyon, and the best information I've seen is coming from Facebook. So I'm going to go back to there 3 times a day to check and see what's going on. That's not social really at all. It's information.
But totally current events and keeping, world current events that we wouldn't know about unless you were checking your social media, right? So one more question for you. Which of the following best describes your attitude toward social media? Already gotten one, right down here in front. So I believe I should be able to post whatever I want on social media no matter who would see it or respond to it. How many of you feel that? Yeah, that's a good thing. I feel my social media use will not impact my future. It's just for socializing. Okay. I have heard some bad stories about people making mistakes on social media, but that won't happen to me because all my accounts are private. Anyone?
Private.
Okay. I am aware of the impact I have on social media, including immediate as well as long-term in my life. That's something you think about?
Yep.
I'm skeptical of the effects of my social media activity, so I hardly post anymore. I'm uncomfortable using social media because of past negative experiences. Okay, a couple people are feeling that way too.
Do you guys ever start to post something? Oh, Kim.
Can I participate here?
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
just going to say, with regard to number one, I was just talking with my ex-husband the other day, and he was applying for a contract at a college in California, and they do a social media check on you as part of this application process. So it's something you need to think about what you post.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. So it's really important that you be aware of being a digitally literate citizen in the world we live in today. So what does that exactly mean? Well, here are a few things to think about when you think of digital literacy. Okay, collaboration. Okay, information evaluation. Not everything you read on the internet is true. Okay.
Just so, in case you didn't know.
In case you didn't know. Social media savvy. Social media is a big thing for businesses, individuals, all sorts of things. So, even though maybe you don't use it, it might be important for you to be aware of it. Digital media creation, software and hardware knowledge, knowing the parts of a computer and different software applications to be productive, and then computer concepts and coding. We have a lot of that computer science initiative stuff coming up in the world we live in too.
So, a little note about digital natives. You guys have heard yourselves maybe called a digital native. Jennifer and I, Jennifer's probably digital native. I'm not.
I don't think I am.
I'm not. My students know I'm not a digital native. I'm a digital immigrant. I was brought up before the widespread of digital technology. But, you gotta if you can't lick them, join them kind of a thing. And it's part of our world, and it's kind of fun. But even, like Jen said, with social media and your jobs today, being able to manage the Twitter feed or the Facebook feed or the Instagram page for the company you work for is a real deal today. That might be your job because your employers might look at you and say, oh yeah, you're young and savvy, you can do this. But you also have to know the rules that go with it. So it is now a necessity. So I don't mean to read to you, but today's students are digital natives, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're digitally literate. In order to prepare them for success in the modern workplace, they need to learn beyond basic tools and teach true digital literacy, the ability to understand and use a wide range of digital tools to solve problems, produce innovative projects, and enhance communications. So we're not just talking social media here, we're talking everything.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about a lot of those things today. So a lot of what we're talking to you today was based on an article in a small class that Leesa and I came across by Dr. Josie Alquist. Actually, I messaged her on Facebook and I told her, we're using your material for a colloquium. I'm so excited. Leesa called me a nerd, but I was really excited about it because Josie has a lot of good stuff to say and a lot of things that we want you to be aware of. So a lot of what we're talking to you about today is based on this article, which is called The 4 Digital Soft Skills College Freshmen Need to Succeed. Okay? And those 4 things are digital focus, digital decision making, applying empathy online, and digital problem solving. All 4 of those we're going to talk to you briefly about in our presentation today. And this is a link to this article. If you, I'm sure we could send this presentation out to you because this article is an online article and it's got a lot of really great videos that go along with it that will just confirm what Leesa and I are talking to you about today. So first of all, digital soft skills.
All right, so let's back up and talk about a hard skill. A hard skill is what you know how to do. Like you can build a spreadsheet and make a chart. Or you know how to do the math to solve a problem. That's a hard skill. A soft skill is communicating skills, listening skills, empathy. So knowing the difference between the two and realizing that both sets of skills is so important today and yesterday. So if a hard skill can be defined as knowing how to do a set of knowledge and expertise and the ability to apply them properly to certain businesses, soft skills represent something different. Often they are defined as knowledge, skills, and attitude, a kind of behavior that is more social, shared, participatory, and responsible. And before we move on from this slide, when Jennifer and I in our department meet with our advisory council, that is the employers in this community that hire students from our graduate pool, they often say that they can teach employees how to do a task on a computer or how to complete a task, but they cannot teach their candidates soft skills. They want them to come in with excellent soft skills. The rest they can manage.
And from another article that we found, this just proves what Leesa just said. Digital skills have shifted toward the soft area, and soft skills have become more digitized and more digital. Okay? So it's important for you to, as part of your college experience, learn as much as you can about morphing your soft skills and combining those with your digital skills.
Well, and before you click, look at the soft skills, communication skills, listening skills, empathy. In those, can you use technology to do any of those?
Yes. All of those. All of those.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give you a second to look at this infographic. Just a little bit more comparison between hard skills and soft skills. So on the left, the circle up above, the hard skills are knowing how to do Adobe Photoshop, knowing how to do Microsoft Office, being able to program, having a certification, and the soft skills. Something we haven't mentioned is teamwork, leadership abilities, okay, other soft skills. So comparing the colors of the circles, this is what HR people, the people that hire you for your jobs, this is what HR people how they split the technical skills and the personal skills, hard and soft, okay? Hard skills, soft skills. And you job seekers, you understand that you know it's more important to have soft skills. Next one. Okay, so the first of the 4 digital soft skills we're going to talk about today is your digital focus, okay? So starting off with this is digital distractions. In our world today, digital distractions are tremendous. How many of you have trouble studying because your phone dings at you all the time? Okay? I'm in my office trying to grade and I get an email and my phone dings, my computer dings, my iPad dings, the laptop I have sitting there dings, and I get 4 notifications that I just got an email. How distracting is that? Yeah, that makes you feel like it's really super important.
But so then obviously I'm off to check my email and I'm not finishing up what I was grading, right? Okay, so digital distractions are tremendous, and it's not just an email, it's notifications on your social media or what's going on Snapchat or whatever. So tuning them out is very, very hard. This month we've kind of, in our classes, are just talking a little bit about scroll-free September. If you can't quit cold turkey, just maybe take a break or limit your usage of social media a little bit and just see how much more focused you are in your life, how much more focused you are in your studies. And tech stress. How many of you stress out? Like I left my phone in my office. Walking down here, what did I say to Leesa?
Yeah, she said, oh, I left my phone. And I said, yeah, I left my phone on purpose. I didn't want it with me.
Okay, so that's a little bit of difference between us. But what about you guys, if you leave your phone at home?
For me, it's terrible because I get on the interstate and there's no turning back. When you leave Green River, you can't really turn around. So it's like,
well, I left my phone home.
Left my phone.
Right?
See you later.
I turn around to go back for it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So something to think about. How about misspelling something on a social post? We talked a little bit about that in class this morning with some of you. Okay. I edit my posts. Mm-hmm. If I spelled it wrong, I edit my post and I spell it right.
The worst is when you're trying to roast somebody and then you misspell them and they just roast you for your misspelling.
Yeah, it's over, right? Right.
You're just like, I just.
Okay, yeah, but that could be stressful. That could be stressful. What about everyone has more than you do?
Mm-hmm. Looking online.
Uh-huh.
Aw.
Yeah, everybody, like, didn't you have an example last time we did this session about your friend taking a picture of on the deck at their cabin and
yeah,
and you get envious and yeah. So looking at other people's Facebook and their new car and their new this and their new that can actually cause you stress too.
Or it can cause you pain the other way, the people that post all the negative stuff that's going on in their life and you're like, oh, you poor thing, I need to help you.
That too. Sending a text to the wrong person. We talked about this in my class this morning too, right? Sending a text to the wrong person or having a text autocorrect it and be wrong or something, okay? How many of you send a text to the wrong person? Oops.
The explanations
okay.
are funny.
What about not getting likes on a photo? If you post a photo and if after half an hour it doesn't have any likes, do you take it down? You can admit it. How many of you have done that? Okay? It causes stress, right? And some people are like, oh, if I don't have 5 likes within 5 minutes of posting this, oh gosh, taking it down.
Also, I want to add when your technology is out of battery, you start to stress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's this morning.
Yep.
My kiddo's phone did not charge. He woke up, it had 7%. Panic.
Oh my God.
Panic. It's a good thing we had a portable charger that was fully charged, or I would have had to charge his phone and take it to him at lunch or something, because he would have, I mean, it's his life. He's 15. His phone is his life. It's his entertainment, how he communicates, it's everything to him, right? Yeah.
Or like if you're taking notes and you forget to hit the save,
Uh-huh.
and then you get home and you're like, oh,
I don't have my notes because I forgot to hit save.
Hey, do you take notes with OneNote on your phone?
sometimes, not always.
Side question, sorry.
So, let's see. If you're continually upset by what you see on whatever you're looking Perhaps you should take a pause, consider whether or not you should spend much more time on that app if it's upsetting you.
Yeah.
Okay, take an inventory. Okay, is Facebook just taking up too much of my time? Do I just get angry and upset when I'm looking at it? Maybe you ought to log off for a while. Okay, managing your time with your tech. What was the first thing you did this morning when you turned off your alarm?
I didn't turn off my alarm. I've been awake for 30 hours.
Oh.
Video games.
Okay.
I did not hear my alarm.
How many of you use your phone for your alarm?
My body wakes me up.
All right.
Pretty great.
Okay, what was the last thing you did last night before you went to bed?
Submitted my homework.
Reading a book on your phone?
I do not know.
Reading a book on my phone, checking my email. Okay, looking at Facebook one last time before you went to bed.
I look
It's
at
a-
my calendar before I go to bed.
There you go. And it's a proven fact that the screen, whatever emits from the screen, actually it activates things in your brain that make you think makes your body think it's time to wake up, not go to sleep. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So yeah, you should take an hour before you go to bed, no tech. And you probably get a better night's sleep, right? Okay? Dr. Maddie always gives this example. We do a thing at the 5-6 buildings for Digital Citizenship Week, and she always talks about how she didn't know her daughters had their phone and they were getting text messages
Throughout
all
the
night
night.
long.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that affects how you perform in school. You're tired all day, okay? But we use our phones for our alarms so we don't turn it off. So then we get notifications all night. Are we not sleeping and getting the rest we need?
What if you're just naturally tired?
No? Maybe you need iron and vitamin D.
Or you just have insomnia, so you deal with it with that video.
I don't know, but when you game for 30 hours, so you're really going to concentrate in class today?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
The
Good for
crash
you.
is coming, man.
Good for you. Let's see. What did you do digitally yesterday? What apps did you use? How many? How many texts did you send? 2?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I bet I sent 15 texts yesterday.
Both of them were to my mom. Both of them said, I love you and thank you for money.
Oh, well, that's good.
You're just saying that to make us feel better.
So again, no scroll free or no scroll September, or take a social media detox, unplug for a couple days. Could you do it? Yeah. I challenge you. Take a 2-day detox and see if you can do it. Okay? And how many times do you think, oh, I need to look that up. Oh, I can't use my phone.
Social media. Just
Think about that. Social media. Well,
Easy, done.
I know that's hard because
all technology you probably couldn't because of homework, but
half my classes, like their homework is
Yeah.
online.
it's online,
Social
so you can't do
media.
that. Don't stop doing that. You need to do your homework.
yeah, don't stop doing your homework.
Isn't it hard though these days to not want to look at everything, just no matter where you are, and you just have a conversation with someone, and you're like, oh, let me just check on that.
Let me just look
Just
that up
gonna
on
look that
Google
up.
on my phone.
I was talking with my older than you guys' son yesterday, and he's like, yeah, isn't it great? And it is.
Uh-huh.
It is great.
It
but
is great. Yeah,
It's different.
it is. It is different. So we challenge you to look at what your digital distractions are. Identify them, limit them, and maybe eliminate them to focus. Okay. And this article is really great because it talks about some apps or the analog approach, pen and paper. When you need to study, get your tech away, get your pen and your paper out, and go to town on your homework if you have to write a paper or whatever. There's some apps out there called Freedom, Antisocial, and a self-control app that they will actually keep you from accessing social media sites while you have it activated to keep you focused on doing your studies.
Yeah, it's like a shot collar.
Yeah. Shot collar. So find yourself a good workspace. Maybe some certain scents help you study better. Essential oils are a huge thing right now. Finding a distraction for your environment like the library. We were talking earlier about our computer lab.
Yeah.
Okay.
The computer lab.
Our computer lab is a great place for you to come and be focused and work on your assignments. Okay.
When and if you see me in the computer lab, I won't scold you, but I might remind you what you should be doing if you're my student. But I am distressed when I walk through the lab sometimes and I see a student all set up with all of their homework, and then they're like this on their phone. And then, okay, type, read, check my phone. And there's a lot of wasted time there. I mean, if your phone was just on total silent and in your bag, maybe you could work for 30 minutes straight and get more done than being interrupted, I don't know, 30 times during 30 minutes. It's really hard to watch people waste time like that. So think about ditching the phone for the time you're working.
And finding that balance. Finding that balance between your life, being productive in your homework and your job and whatever, and then, but also enjoying your social media for your entertainment and stuff too. So, it's not all a bad thing.
Remember, we're trying to film this. Some of the sidebar conversation is getting picked up on the microphones and not the speakers.
Okay, digital decision making. Here we talk about your digital identity. Every day you're creating it. How do you protect it? Your every online transaction that you make contributes to your online identity, your digital identity. Kind of like a digital footprint, okay? And it follows you wherever you go. Dr. Farley had mentioned her husband, and they check your social media. They do. If you go apply for a job, they're going to check your social media.
Is that legal?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. And so, it's becoming really hard to separate your personal from your professional because of digital media and technology. And that's something that we want you to think about. Okay? This article from Dr. Alquist talks about, in high school you probably don't think about it as much, but once you get into college, it can really affect you. The article talks about some students from Harvard. They had sent some inappropriate memes and messages through Facebook Messenger, and all 12 of them, got their admission revoked from Harvard.
So if you thought that was private messaging.
Guess again. Yeah. Okay? So a lot of things out there to be aware of. You really need to kind of be careful and think about it. Think before you post. Okay? Think before you post are the big things. One big one they talk about is the grandma rule. Do you know the grandma rule? If you don't want your granny to see it, don't post it, right? Okay? And just remember, all of that becomes your digital impression, your digital footprint. And it can affect you and follow you throughout your whole life.
Oh, so people who have made some fails with digital posting. So decision making. Michael Phelps. At a party after the Olympics, I bet you none of you remember what he was doing, and maybe he didn't believe that people would mar his reputation the way they did. But Michael Phelps is a great example of where you shouldn't be in this lifetime. I mean, this day of age, right? So anyone with their cell phone, even not acting like they're taking a picture, might be just, snapping and showing that famous person doing something illegal. And didn't wreck his life, but it definitely put it on a different track for a while. And Larry Nance, when he got drafted by the Lakers, had a tweet that came right up after he was drafted, and it was racial slur. No, it wasn't even racial. I'm sorry. It was sexual. So hashtag rapist. And that was taken immediately down. But like I said in the post or on the slide before, it took me 4 seconds to find it. It's still out there. It's never going away. Larry's living with that forever. So you don't know who you're going to be. The next famous person might be right here in this room. And don't think that it's not going to matter. It might matter.
Definitely could matter. Google, have you Googled yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What comes up when you search your name? Is it really even you? Lisa Lee has an example. How many Lisa Lees are there out there?
Well, there's
in the world?
one Lisa Lee that really bothers me because she is in the tech world and she gets all the good accounts before I can get them. So darn her. But yeah, there's another Lisa Lee, even spelled like mine.
So, yeah, what comes up in your search that isn't even you that's out there? Facebook, using view as to see what the public sees. Probably a good idea so you know what they see. You might have things listed as private, but maybe you don't know what you're putting out there really is that way. Searching photos about yourself to see if they're all okay. Are you tagged in photos you don't want to be tagged in? So here's a hilarious story. My husband, I have a friend and her name's Crystal and she lives in Colorado Springs. One time she tagged my husband accidentally as her husband's face, and it is in Facebook
Permanently.
Permanently. Every time she posts a picture of her and her husband, it automatically tags my husband. Her friends are out there going, who's this Ryan Allen guy?
Yeah.
I don't know who he is.
We didn't know you were just
We didn't know. Okay. It's crazy. And Ryan's like, I don't want to be tagged in her photos, but we haven't figured out how to do that yet. So that's a dilemma, right? What if she posted a picture that Ryan didn't want out there, you know? And people are like, who's this Ryan guy?
Oh, thanks for tagging me again.
Thanks for tagging me again. So it's kind of funny. It pops up in my feed, oh, Ryan was tagged in a photo, and it's not anything Ryan was even related to.
Yeah, that could really cause problems.
So things like that happen.
So other monitoring apps, Jennifer and I were wondering if Time Hop is still a thing, but I still see Time Hop come up on my feed sometimes. And it helps you see what photos you're connected to. In Instagram, you can search and see if there are any fake accounts, and that is more surprising than you might think. And looking for photos that you might be tagged in, my example is #LeesaLee. It's interesting.
I have not done that ever.
Interesting to learn. And then photos that have a location tag, that happens a lot with our cameras now. So just as a normal rule of caution, you should, if you're on vacation, maybe wait until you're home before you actually post your vacation photos. So it's not immediately known by the rest of the world that your picture was just taken in Pinedale.
And that you don't happen to be home, and maybe you have some really nice stuff in your house, and people are like, hey, they aren't going to be home till Monday. I'm going to go over and see what they got that I could have.
I just looked at Lisa's itinerary. I think I'm good to go.
Yeah, so is that something you guys think about? I do. I'm really careful about that. I mean, as fun as it is to share this cool thing I'm at and doing, I always wait till I get home. Because I don't know who's looking at my stuff.
Oh, here's an oldie but a goodie. When I first was getting going with Twitter, I'm like, oh, I'm going to follow some famous people that I like. So I looked up John Elway and found a few John Elways out there. So Twitter does its best to help you figure out if it's the real person. And when you find people on Twitter, look for the blue check mark by their name, and that means Twitter has authenticated that really is the president of football operations at the Denver Broncos. And this one maybe wouldn't get me the same information, or might connect me to someone I don't want to be connected to.
How many of you knew that?
I didn't know the blue thing.
A couple people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, search yourself. Who's the real Lisa Lee?
I know. We should have put a picture of the search results.
We should have. That would be fun for next
Interesting.
time. Let's see. So then a little bit more about digital decision making. Again, it's your digital reputation. Again, consider posting items that will move you toward your professional goals. I have an example. I was in a meeting and we were talking before the meeting started, and one of my colleagues had said, well, you know, I went out and I actually Googled myself, and all these pictures came up from like her Flickr account when she was in high school. And she was like mortified because they were pictures of her partying and having a good time, and she's like, oh, and now she's a professional and someone that all of us here on campus look up to, and she's like, oh my gosh, I have to get rid of these, okay? So it can follow you even when you don't realize. She had forgotten about those pictures from high school, but guess what? 8-9 years later, here they are.
Well, yeah.
Ta-da!
And what if you decide, oh, you know what, I'm going to just apply to be the college vice president. And then there's a search going on. It could happen, right, Kim?
Absolutely, it can happen. Consider creating yourself a professional platform. people do use it for recruitment and all of that stuff. You might want to create a digital stamp for yourself, blog to create your professional mark online. Okay, these are some things professionally that you can do to portray a professional online image of yourself. Okay, and again, I really think it's really hard because we are having a hard time defining that line between your personal and your professional life due to social media.
It's very gray.
And the internet right now. We didn't upload these.
I know, hopefully it'll work.
Hopefully it'll go real quick.
Amy, it says you are trained in technology. That's very good. Are you adept at Excel?
No,
PowerPoint?
no,
Publisher?
not really.
Exactly in what area of technology are you proficient?
Snapchat, Pinterest, Instagram, Vine, Twitter, you know, the big ones.
I'm surprised you didn't say Facebook.
That's for old people, like my parents. That's funny.
Well, Amy, when you're working for me, you have to have those kind of research skills because I'll send you things for you to comb through and get the answers and send them to me. So for that, you've got to be really good at technology.
For stuff like that, no problem. I'll just ask Siri.
You'll just ask Siri?
You know, Siri tell me this, Siri find me that. We're all good at getting you the answers.
Tell Siri, I want you ready to go at 8 sharp each and every morning.
I don't understand
What don't you understand?
what you just said.
You don't understand be ready to go?
No. You said 8, right?
Yes.
8 like in the morning 8?
Yes, in the morning.
Yeah. That kind of doesn't work for me. Who gets up at 8?
I do.
I Skype with my French boyfriend in Paris until like 3 in the morning. I don't even get to Starbucks until like 10, where I order my grande chai tea latte, 3 pump skim milk, light water, 2% foam, extra hot but not too hot. So if it's okay, I work best in the morning at 10:45.
Wow. Amy, I don't think we're going to be a good fit.
Why are you so negative? I can sense your hostilities, and right now I am not feeling very safe. I've been here for over 5 minutes, and the only nice thing you have said to me was nice resume, which I typed all night for this meeting with you. You've given me no guidance, no validation, no encouragement, no supervision. Is there an HR director somewhere?
HR director?
Yes, I need to speak to someone. I may have to take off today as a mental health day.
Take today off. Amy, look at me. You don't work here.
Are you firing me?
Okay, yes.
How many of you have seen that video? It just makes you think, okay? Yeah, if you look at job descriptions in the newspaper, they are looking for Excel, Word skills, computer skills. Those are important things. They really are.
So now we transfer into the next skill, is applying empathy online.
What do you guys know as empathy? Yeah. Putting yourself in someone else's shoes, trying to understand their point of view, where they're coming from, right? Okay. Do you think about empathizing with people when you're posting? That's good. This article from Dr. Alquist says that every generation is half as empathetic as the generation before it.
Oh, that's not good.
That is not good.
Down the road.
Are you taking care of just yourself? Or are you being empathetic and are you taking care of others online?
And we know Justine was not being empathetic.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to show you another quick video really quick about not being empathetic online and what the repercussions of that could be.
First, I just dabbled with it, you know.
Hang on.
over the weekend, there was a bit of a controversy involving a PR executive by the name of Justine Sacco. If you haven't heard of her before, don't worry. She only had about 200 followers on Twitter, but she did work for a pretty big company known as Interactive Corp. They actually do the PR for Match.com, Dictionary.com, OkCupid, Vimeo, so you get the picture. Well, she was about to board a plane to South Africa last Friday, and before doing so, she put out a tweet that got her into a lot of trouble. The tweet said, "Going to Africa, hope I don't get AIDS, just kidding, I'm white."
Oh, damn. That's kind of unfortunate. So this thing took off like a rocket while she was in the air like a rocket. And so Anna's going to explain the tweets that related to that. I think part of the reason that it took off was because it was such an outrageous thing to say she's actually from South Africa. In some ways it makes it worse. You know,
yeah, so she was born there, and her family decided to move move out of South Africa because her father said that she didn't want her daughter to experience the racism there. Not that she would be a victim of the racism, but he didn't want his daughter to see how black people were treated in South Africa and use that as an example.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out as he had planned. We'll get back to him in a second.
Yeah.
But so she goes on the plane right after tweeting this out. While she's in the air, Twitter mayhem ensues. She's not even aware of it because she's incommunicado. She lands, people start taking her picture. Those are the pictures one of them is the picture we showed you first. And she's famous by the time she lands.
Yeah, again, she only had 200 Twitter followers, and now all of a sudden, everyone's talking about her. And one of the trending hashtags during the weekend was, has Justine landed yet? So people couldn't wait for her to land and realize that she was in a lot of trouble. So BuzzFeed was actually the media organization that retweeted her, and that's how it kind of spiraled out of control. But after she did land, she was greeted by someone by the name of Zach. And Zach took pictures of her, as you guys could see. And he also tweeted about it. He tweeted, "Yup, Justine Sacco has in fact landed at Cape Town International. She's decided to wear sunnies as a disguise." I love that, sunnies as a disguise. I'm going to use that from now on. So there she is. She also immediately deleted the tweet, and I think deleted her entire Twitter account, which, I mean, or deactivated it, I should say.
Well, you know you've made a Twitter mistake when you have to destroy your entire Twitter account.
Yeah. It just wasn't a smart idea, obviously. And as a PR exec, you would assume that she would know better than that. And of course, she has since been let go from her position. Understandably so. If you are in public relations, you need to know right from wrong. I mean, your whole job, your life revolves around making people look good. And if you can't even do that for yourself, there's a bit of an issue there.
Yeah, and look.
So there's more, too, about Justine. But her life was destroyed because of one tweet. And even though she deleted it, oh man, the hours that it took for her to fly from the United States to South Africa, that was a lot of time. A lot happened in that time.
A lot of bad things happened to her over that time. So being empathetic, if she would never have posted that, her life would have been great. And she thought, oh, it's just innocent, but not so much. So double think through things before you post them. Yeah, and ask yourself some questions here.
Yeah.
Will this post represent the future you?
Will your family and friends appreciate your post?
Will this post follow policies at work?
How do professionals use social media?
And then there's the granny test that I mentioned already.
Does your post fit the platform?
Is there emotion behind it? Maybe you're too emotional to post that right now. Maybe you ought to wait.
Will it brighten someone's day?
When you're a big shot, will this post be found?
Does the post represent what you stand for?
So good things to ask yourself before you post online.
And then our fourth tool is digital problem solving.
Okay, so digital problem solving basically means that you're using digital tools to solve problems. Okay, do you do that every day in class? Okay, you're using Microsoft Word to type a paper. Okay, maybe you're using Excel to solve a math problem. Okay, using digital tools to solve problems. So a new way to collaborate. Okay, we're using wikis and Google Docs and Google Hangouts and all sorts of places to be able to collaborate online, okay? A lot of you might take a class that has both live people and online people, and you might have to do group projects with them. Or how hard is it if you're in a class to get in touch with other people in a group for a group project? Okay, we're starting to use online collaboration tools to be able to match up with our busy schedules so that we can accomplish things. Okay?
Well, let's take a second to plug what we have at the college. So when you guys log into My Western, one of the buttons that's right next to Canvas is Office 365. That's how you can download and install Office on your computer, but the collaboration tool there is available for you to upload files to that cloud, your cloud storage there, and then you can share your files with your group members and move forward with a group project with a shared document that you've got in your cloud, built in.
And we do that in our department with just everybody that we work with. Everything, schedules and documents that we're working on.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a great tool. So think about what's in your digital toolkit. How familiar are you with Microsoft Office? Word, Excel, PowerPoint, okay? And how you use those. What about Adobe? If you're a graphic designer, or maybe if you're not, maybe you need to know a little bit about Photoshop or draw a logo using Illustrator. And then Google Docs and Google Drive. I know that a lot of our high schools use the Google platform, okay? And I was reminded last night as I was madly typing an announcement for one of my classes, and something on my computer all of a sudden will and everything will be gone, and there's no backwards button in Canvas to undo what I just did, and it's gone. And I'm like, frustrated, and my son's like, if you're using Google Docs, Mom, it saves it as you do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to hit that save button every time. So, something to think about there. And Google Drive, being able to save documents out there and share them as well. Library databases, having that in your back pocket as a tool, is pretty handy too.
We need to move.
Okay. Some other ones over there, being able to search for things and learn how to do them. YouTube, creating a website for a class. Maybe I use Weebly.com in a lot of my classes and have my students create websites out there to share information about projects they're doing in class. So lots of tools out there. Nice to know what they are, what they do, where you can learn more about them in the BIS lab. Okay. Let's see. Creating a professional portfolio. We kind of talked about this a little bit. Something to put out there that's professional about you.
You know yeah.
You know way more about this life.
Thinking about what your professional website might be called, the name that you would give it, is it available? And something that I have tried to do as a model is that I have a digital role model, someone who blogs about technology, and I've kind of, not totally copied her, but taken her ideas and turned them into my blog, or used her ideas for my blog. It was a big help.
And Dr. Alquist also mentioned, she went ahead and bit the bullet, and actually her online presence on Twitter is both personal and professional combined, because again, it's hard to separate. It's hard to separate that, and so she just has to be really mindful about what she posts, because it's going to follow her, whether it's personal or professional anyway.
Yep.
So LinkedIn is a huge thing. In a couple of the classes that I teach, I have my students create and update their LinkedIn account. LinkedIn is becoming more and more popular, especially for the professional side of things. There's a lot of really great articles out there and places you can follow that that talk about things you're interested in. Like I follow the Canvas people on LinkedIn, and I get to see all their articles and the new things that they're doing that help me learn a little bit more about what's going on in Canvas.
Yep, find your professional connection.
So,
with that,
people are starting to leave because I think it's time. Our time is about up. So thanks for attending our presentation today. We hope we gave you some food for thought to be a digital leader and to be a good digital citizen and be digitally literate in your life as freshmen.
Yeah, thanks for coming, you guys.
Thanks.